The top 10 games on the Quest 2 and Quest 3. What's up, guys? Today we're going to be looking at 10 games on the Quest 2 and also on the Quest 3. Now, this list is not necessarily the absolute best games. This is a more biased list. This is my top 10 games that I want to showcase and highlight in today's video. Now, some of them are paid, some of them are free. Some of them I'm going to link below where you can get a 25% off coupon. I won't link it if there's a better deal already on the Quest store. Now, let's jump on to the video. The first game on this list is Among Us VR, which is currently for $12 Canadian, a little bit cheaper in the US. This is an awesome multiplayer game on the Quest 2. It's like literally one of the best titles out there for the VR online party games. So Among Us VR is a party game of teamwork and betrayal. Grab your crew and your headset and launch into the VR version of this hit multiplayer game. Play with 4 to 10 players to complete tasks. I mean, if you're familiar with Among Us, guys, it's basically Among Us in VR. Like, how cool is that? Now, if you are not a big fan of Among Us or not sure how to play, I will tell you it's very easy to pick up and learn. It's very fun to play online in the online rooms with other people, but also I've had a great time playing with my friends. Especially you jump into a lobby with 3 or 4 or 5 of your friends and a couple other random people, and you mess around, role play. It's a whole ton of fun. You gotta take a look at this title. This is one of the cheapest games on the list, and again, it's worth every bang for your buck. The next game on this list is Beat Saber. Now, guys, I don't know if you can have a top 10 list without including Beat Saber in the list. And again, this was my very first experience in VR. I remember playing this on the PSVR and I fell absolutely in love. And this is one of those games where I've always came back to, even on my Quest 2. It's just one of those games where, like, you want to warm up, you just haven't played VR in a while, you hop in the game. It's as simple as it gets. It's like Guitar Hero, but the VR version. The actual regular songs are banging, but also if you mod it, you can literally have a whole library of songs, your favorite songs, just different player created games. It's absolutely phenomenal. This is one of those titles where you just can't go wrong. Next on the list is Walking Dead Saints and Sinners. This one, again, one of those games where it was one of my first experiences playing on the Quest 2, like first actual long form game with a storyline, like 10 hours of campaign. It's freaking awesome. Now, if you're not into zombies and that kind of game, this is probably not going to be for you. But if you do like this whole zombie hunting, story driven game, this is a game for you. The physics in this game is absolutely insane. You can have a machete stuck in like the zombie's head and actually to pull it out and use your muscles, and I don't know how they did it, but they did it freaking phenomenally. The story is amazing, the gameplay is amazing, the quality is amazing. It's just one of those top rated games on the Quest 2 that you have to try. I know they have a second version of this game. I personally haven't played that one, so I couldn't add it to the list, but hey, might be worth checking out the second version. But I'd always want to play the first version first anyway, so if you're watching this, you might want to grab this one. Next on the list is Blade and Sorcery Nomad. Guys, this is literally one of my favorite games on the Quest 2 by far. Now, there's no story here. It's mostly just sandboxes and fighting enemies, but it's freaking amazing. The weird things and situations you come across in this game is none like I've seen on VR. You can do some twisted things. Also, if you go ahead and mod the game, that's when you really unlock some really cool features, and you could do things that you just couldn't imagine of doing in VR. It's very immersive, one of my favorite titles, and when it does get an update and they add a campaign and multiplayer, I think this is going to be the #1 game ever created on the Quest 2. Now, let's jump to the next game on the list is Bone Lab. I've been doing a lot of games with story-driven campaigns just because that's the kind of gamer I am, but this was probably one of the biggest games when it released in terms of changing the way VR is forever. The storyline, the mechanics, the puzzles, everything about the game, from the quality to the physics, is absolutely a 10 out of 10. I've never met someone who's played this game and not flipping enjoyed it. From the quality, like I said, to the physics, to the storyline, to the sandbox mode, you could again do some really twisted things. It's basically like Blade and Sorcery, but throwing in guns in the mix, and it's just, you have to play it to understand what I mean. Again, one of my favorite titles on the Quest 2. That's why I had to make it to this list. Now, let's jump to the next game. The next game is a boxing game, and that is Thrill of the Fight. Guys, this one's probably the best boxing game on the Quest 2. Literally better than Creed, better than The Fight. It's the best fighting game on the Quest 2 when it comes to realisticness, when it comes to the physics, when it comes to immersion, the boxing, everything about it's perfect. Creed 2, again, it's also on this list. Spoiler alert, that's the next game. But the difference between this and Creed, if you only were able to pick up one game, I would pick up this one because the actual fighting mechanics are just way better. And again, for a really cheap price, for $12 Canadian, even cheaper in the US, this one's amazing. It's literally, you feel the fight. Like, you really have the thrill of the fight. There's no storyline, but there are 10 fighters that you can fight along the way. It's super cool. You definitely have to add this to your list. It's great for working out. It's great. It's just literally my favorite fighting game on the Quest 2. Now, Creed, like I said, a little spoiler. Why is Creed and Thrill the Fight on the list? And also, Umar, you just said Thrill the Fight's better. So why is this game on the list? The only reason I'd buy Creed, the only reason is for, actually there's two reasons. The first reason is the storyline, and now there's a champion mode and then the original version, which is awesome. It's fun. I like playing games with storyline. I feel like it's more progressive. It just adds to the immersion of the game. But the second thing is the montages. It's kind of fun. You get to box around with like Rocky. You're doing the sparring sessions. It feels like you're actually a fighter. This underdog story, starting off from a small box in a small gym to then going on to the main stages. But fighting wise, Thrill the Fight's definitely way better. This one's just an overall better experience, a more polished game. But again, that reflects in the price because this is like 3 times more expensive. How can you have a fight game and not mention Drunken Bar Fight? This game is the stupidest game on the Quest 2. It's so pointless, yet so fun. You go to a bar, you get drunk, and you start fighting with people. You can add kiosks to the mix when you play with your friends online. This one's one of those stupid games, but you can't really explain to someone until they try it themselves. It's that dumb, yet that fun. I've never met someone who played this game and not had a great time. It's so goofy, yet so fun. You have to try this game out. It's interesting. You'll know what I mean when you try it. It's just a lot of goofy things in there. It's like you're like in GTA San Andreas doing these stupid fighting. It's funny. You gotta check it out. This is actually a solid title on the Quest 2 and Quest 3. On to the next game. Big Ballers VR is next on the list. And guys, this is actually a free-to-play game. It used to be paid, but now it's free. This one, like, I don't know how you can have a top 10 games for this year list without including this one, because one, it's a newer title. You can play football, you can play basketball, you can play baseball, you can play softball, you can play dodgeball, laser tag, all in one game. And obviously it's multiplayer, and obviously it's free. So just those things being in the mix, it's a solid game. Fitness are great for all the sports. The fact that you play online with your friends and it's free means everyone's gonna be able to play. It's super awesome, super competitive. This game is like phenomenal. You definitely download it, especially the fact that it's free. There's no way you're missing out on this game. Next on the list is Green Hell. I have a love-hate relationship with Green Hell. When it first released, I was really drawn to it because of like the storyline, but I didn't like the fact that it didn't have multiplayer at the time. I believe now they added the patch where it's multiplayer, but this one's absolutely amazing because it's like the jungle environment mixing with survival skills, mixing with a solid storyline. And that's all that needs to be said. The reviews are also solid on this game. Everything about this game is interesting. The only caveat I'd say is compared to some of the other storyline games, I found it a bit more difficult, and I also found not being able to play for that long. A lot of people experience this with Bone Labs as well. I haven't necessarily with Bone Labs, but with this game, I haven't had really long sessions. However, for the bang for the buck, the quality, the storyline, the survival skills, the content you're getting is absolutely insane. It's one of those games where you have to play for yourself to understand what I mean. Absolutely love this game. You should definitely give it a check out. I'm gonna put the code down below for 25% off. The bonus game is Assassin's Creed Nexus. Now, Umar, why do you have a bonus game on here? Because unfortunately, I haven't played Assassin's Creed Nexus just yet, but this game is freaking phenomenal. Now, whether you played Assassin's Creed or not, based off the reviews I was reading and based off talking to some friends, it doesn't matter. You could jump into this game and get very familiar really quick. What I've heard is the storyline is pretty simple. A lot of people don't like when you play storyline game and it's too complicated and you're getting confused. That's not necessarily a problem in this game from what I was reading, when playing on the easiest level. Now, it's Assassin's Creed VR. What a lot of people are saying is this is a proof in the pudding for them importing some of the GTA games, because it's an open world game. You have the storyline going, it's outside, the quality is amazing, the graphics are amazing. Once I get this title and I start playing it, guys, obviously I'll make a ton of content around it, but this is like the bonus game on the list, because if you are buying games, I'd imagine a lot of people watching this video just got a Quest 2 or Quest 3 for Christmas and you want 10 games, you might want to add this on your list. Even though I haven't played it just yet, I'm quite confident to say that this game is solid. We can see already it only released like a couple of weeks ago, if I'm not mistaken. Most of the ratings are 5-star. There's really hundreds of people absolutely loving the game off, so make sure you go ahead and take a look at this game. That pretty much sums up the list, guys. If you enjoy watching these videos, do me a solid and smash the like button and subscribe for more videos just like this. Also, go ahead and follow me on TikTok, where I post daily content for free and solid paid games on the Quest 2 and Quest 3.